dropping in to see what connections can be made on this beautiful Friday afternoon. I got my kalimba with me, and today I'm feeling the importance of releasing the attachment to pitch, which is a very fun adventure that I just went on with someone I was meeting for the first time. We got on a call, and what came up on this call, and I was supporting her in opening up her voice, and what came up on this call was, how do we get free around our pitch? Because there's the technique of, if you open your throat, if you get more breath, and if you do all these things, then your pitch will be more on point. And there's some truth to that. There's some life to that. But I think that on the other end, the body is out of pitch sometimes. The organs are out of pitch sometimes. They're not always in the perfect health pitch that it's meant to be in. And sometimes the body and the organs are out of pitch. And in order to bring something back into pitch, first we have to be able to be out of pitch with that thing first. Acknowledge it where it is, acknowledge how it feels, and be with that organ as it is with the pitch that it is making, in order to even have any space to sing the correct pitch into it. I think about the world in America and how America feels like it's a little bit out of pitch. It's a little bit out of pitch. And certain government officials, I will not name any names, what I'm seeing is that they're refusing to acknowledge the out of pitchness and to give the out of pitchness some art, some sound, some expression. Because if a child, if you were with a child and that child wasn't feeling well and that child was upset about something, would you just say, just get over it, or snap out of it, or this isn't time for your tears, man up? No, not necessarily. We would say, oh, this is making you sad, this is making you upset. I hear that you don't want this thing to be this way and it feels hard for you. You start there. You meet that child where they are. And we all have this inner child and this method inside of us, even as adults. So in that sense, we can match it to being in pitch or being out of pitch. Like I'm out of pitch with what's going on in my life right now. I'm out of pitch with what you just said to me. I'm out of pitch with what I just did. And acknowledging it and being with it is so important. And then from a singing, from a musical standpoint of using your voice, there is such a stigma around being in pitch. The only beauty of song or singing are those that can be in pitch. I can't sing because I can hear that I'm out of pitch, therefore I can't play, I can't. But we want to be able to play whether we're in pitch or whether we're not in pitch. We want to be able to play with the voice, let ourselves express with the voice without all these extra things on us, capping our capacity to be in play. What is it like to release the attachment to being in a publicly accepted pitch, to be in a pitch that's even a great pitch for you to hear? Boazina nago nago gui nazia nago nago na and trusting every sound that comes out of my body, whether it seems to my mind and body that it's out of pitch or not. And so giving myself an access point of this to inspire more play with your voice. Let go of these limitations around your voice and let yourself play. Because the truth is, when you're feeling a hard emotion, that hardness is an out of pitch sound. And if we want to visit the truth of that hardness, you must be out of pitch also. You must express out of pitchness. Gang, 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 go, 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 no. I am a go, go, go. And that part of my body that wants to be met, that wants to be felt, that wants to be brought into its perfect radiant health, it has a very particular pitch for that health. It has a very particular sonic vibration that it wants to shake in, to resonate in. And how do I find it? I have to be willing to get messy. I have to be willing to be out of pitch and to play around the pitch center of that true pitch of that part of my body. And you can see it resembles kind of like Carnatic singing. It resembles African singing, to be able to bend the pitch through that note. And often when you play in these realms, you'll find notes and pitches that are not the normal American style of singing. You might drop into an ancestral indigenous form of singing, because in the ancestral indigenous, there was always the importance in knowing how to sing those off-pitch moments. There was an importance to being with those moments of grief, those moments of hard transition when someone is moving through a different stage of their lives. You meet it and you express at the fire all of the things that you're going through, that my son is now moving into a new world, or my daughter is coming of age, or my child is going into the forest to hunt for the first time. There's some honoring that needs to be done. There's some emotion that needs to be done. There's some sudden out of pitchness that needs to be given voice and needs to be given energy. So being out of pitch is so important to use, to be in, to express, to play in intentionally, giving us more access to all of ourselves, giving us access to all parts of our beings. So play with that out of pitchness. Oh na na dosia na magogo na magogo the. Let your fear of this out of pitchness just drop and let your pitch be what it is as it comes out. Go na go go ma na go na ya na go na. Very often when I sing and I tone and I record that singing and that toning, and then I make a musical piece based off of that toning, based off of me starting from a true pitch that my body is feeling, I find that the starting note is not on the tuning of 440, that normal tuning that most orchestras and musical pieces are in. 440 hertz. My tone starts somewhere else. It might start at 510, or it might start at 425, or it might start at, and trusting that pitch is the pitch of the song that wants to come out, versus regurgitating this 440 hertz bass tuning, and letting yourself explore alternate realms of tuning through letting yourself tone and be true to where your sound is, where your body is. Go man ya go naga ya go go man na go go ya go na ana na as 440 is something that was made up at some point. Someone agreed that 440 would be the main tuning that all the notes would be based off of, and then a body of people agreed with it. Whose plan do you want to be on? The plan of those people? Or do you really want to tap into the truth of your bass tone in your body and express that? I often find that when I go into the truth of how I feel and really let myself go there and really go to the edges of how I feel and express it, I tap into a very ancient, very cosmic, very deep cosmology sound. A sound that people might go through all kinds of initiations and study, and they go through all these adventures in order to find this note. But this note also exists in the truth of how I feel. That sound is right at the core of my high heart, of the yearning of my high heart. And in that sound, we could go check to see, okay, what is the frequency of that sound? What is the note that sound hit? And you might find that it resembles a solfeggio frequency, or it resembles a very a known frequency or sound or cosmology. But it isn't initially my attention, my intention. It isn't initially what I'm looking to sing, this specific 510. No, I'm giving access to you. I'm giving you access to how I feel. I'm finding the feeling of that sound, listening for it internally, and letting myself give it a note. So let yourself be free from pitch perfect. Let yourself be free from being in tune. Not just so that you could just be out of tune and just be wild and out of tune. No, but it gives you more information about where your body is. It gives you more information about your performance. It gives you more information about what tones or tunes you want to be in, to be able to play and to have yourself to be free of that. So sending you love. Thank you for tuning in to this transmission of pitch, tune, tone, sound, using your voice. Send me a message, send me an email, send me anything. Let me know that you are out there. Let me know that you heard me and what came through for you. Feel free to share this with other people and let them get a dose of themselves. Sending love. Blessings.